Hey there, freaks and geeks. Welcome to another episode of Geek Out for a Minute. We are coming at you here from Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm your host, Rocky Rees, and today we're going to go over Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. And you fucking critics. Really? All right, so first off, let's address the elephant in the room, okay? Now, there's a lot of bad reviews based on Batman v Superman. A ton. And so when I went to watch this movie, it did knock down some expectations for me. But when I saw the movie, I was like, I don't know what the fuck these guys are talking about. So look, I will say this. I enjoyed the film. I love the film. Is it a masterpiece? No. Is it a pile of shit? No. Is it as good as Deadpool? No. But it sure as fuck is not fucking Fantastic Four, and it sure as fuck it's not Iron Man 3, which is a pile of shit. Okay, so, I want to talk about the characters first, and then delve into the plot lines and all that. Before I get into that, though, I will let you know, as you can see, I'm in my home right now. I went to see the movie with Jack, and Jack works graveyard, so he was unable to attend to the initial filming that I did. But also he has some other stuff came up, so I'm just going to go ahead and do the review, the spoilers review, and I'm going to do a few other things. So that being said, let's take you into the review. All right, so first off, let's talk about Henry Cavill. And Henry Cavill plays Superman, Clark Kent. He's good. I mean, obviously, if you guys saw The Man of Steel, and I love The Man of Steel, you'll see that he makes a good Superman. But it'll make it seem like it takes a back seat in this movie simply because they gotta introduce Batman. But during this movie, he's still a good Superman. He's a little bit conflicted, obviously because of what happened in Man of Steel. So everything, he's still doing a good job. I have nothing bad to say about Henry Cavill. Okay, and as you can see, the dude is jacked. I mean, dude, the guy's so big. He's so massive in this movie. He's getting bigger and bigger. So, I can't wait to see the next movies. So now let me go ahead and talk about Batman now. And Batman, Ben Affleck playing Batman, Bruce Wayne, is actually a breath of fresh air. Because he's so good. And now, look, I, including myself, went on to say, like a long time ago, 3 years ago, when they announced that Ben Affleck was going to be Batman, I was one of the guys that was talking shit. So look, when Ben Affleck first got cast as Batman, I was one of the guys that was talking shit. And mostly because I based it off of Daredevil, which what he did. And you know what? But looking back at it, he wasn't the problem. The movie was just dog shit. And it's kind of weird when you see people talk about this film because people are now talking about certain things that they like, which I hated. So that being said, no, Ben Affleck makes a great Bruce Wayne. He's got the suave, he's got the cool, calm, collected, the intellect behind it. And, and as Batman, man, he is a brutal fucking Batman. I mean, this guy just destroys things. I mean, his mentality is, you know what? I'm going to fuck you up just because you're a criminal. All right, so now, so that being said, great Batman, great Bruce Wayne. Same thing with Henry Cavill. He's a great Clark Kent, great Superman. Now, let's move on to the next one that everybody wants to know about, which is, Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is surprisingly really good. When I remember putting this, now I'm not really sure if I put it on my Facebook page or if I put it on Let's Geek Out for a Minute webpage. I had put that the two wild cards here were going to be Ben Affleck and Gal Gadot playing Wonder Woman. And after watching it, man, I got to tell you, Gal Gadot is an awesome Wonder Woman. And after a while of hearing how they were going to prep her up to be Wonder Woman, I was like, my reservations came down, so I defended Gal Gadot, a few times. Now, look, I mean, she is a thin chick, but look, I'm gonna put up some sequences here on some of the first few comics of Wonder Woman, and she was not a big buff chick. It wasn't until the later comics that they made her buff. So I had no problem with her not having muscles. It just meant for me that I'm like, oh, she can move faster. Okay, so but she is awesome. She has very few lines. I mean, her appearances are kind of limited, and but the lines that she did, I thought she did them great. I have no problem with her. Let's move on to the other character, which would be the villain, or one of the villains, and that would be Jesse Eisenberg playing Lex Luthor. Oh well, he plays like Lex Luthor Jr. And look, I wouldn't say that he's terrible, terrible. I would say that he's probably my least favorite of the characters, simply because of the way he played him. It's unlike no Lex Luthor that we've come across. And if they're making him as, Lex Jr., you know, it's the way you see him, with his whole, it's really weird. Like, oh, don't mess with this guy. Oh, he's good. He's just very clowny in it. But I gotta tell you, man, he is devious as fuck. I mean, he does some decisions in that you're like, holy crap, I can't believe he did that. And so yeah, I mean, he's very cunning, despite how his personality may rub off on him. So now let's go ahead and move along to I'm gonna go with Amy, and I'm losing the last name here, but she plays Lois Lane, and you kind of really didn't need her in this movie. She really does nothing. But I'm glad, because I wouldn't want to be overshadowed by a love interest in this movie, because there's so much going on in this film as it is. You got the Justice League forming, the metahumans. You got Batman v Superman, a trial going on, and Batman doing his thing. You got the backstory of Batman to reintroduce you into the character. So there's a lot of stuff going on. So yeah, just having a romantic interest in it would overshadow. So I'm glad that they kept her limited and for what she did. Now I'm gonna move along to the villain, which would be Doomsday, and this is not a spoiler because that is what they showed you in the preview. So Doomsday, for me, he still looks fucking stupid. He looks retarded. I've heard some people make a reference to him looking like an orc from one of the Lord of the Rings. For me, he looks like the Toxic Avenger, and again, it just I didn't like the way he looked. You could have done something completely a lot better. Okay, so now, that being said about the main characters here, so Lawrence Fishburne is actually a really great character as the head of the newspaper, and they do a lot of really cool stuff. Again, this is a non-spoiler review, so don't worry, I'm not going to reveal anything. So moving along, let's get down to the storyline. Now the storyline, like I said, there's so much going on here, and like I said earlier, there's there's a trial. And look, this is all that's on the trailer, okay? So I'm not trying to spoil anything. But there's a trial based on the stuff that happened from Man of Steel, okay? So then there is whatever's going on with the Batman, the stuff that he's doing. And then, of course, there's a storyline with him, telling you his origin story really briefly. But you know what? I got to tell you, out of all the storylines that they've done with his parents being murdered, I gotta say, this is my favorite one. It really got me invested into the murder of his parents. He really made me feel. Every other movie, I was just like, okay, his parents died. All right, moving along. It never really resonated with me. This time, it did, and I actually had the feels on this part. So I thought it was really good. Now you're also gonna have the big fights. The fights are amazing. They are intense. The fighting scenes with Wonder Woman are awesome. The fighting scenes with Batman versus Superman, they are incredible. Incredible. And just the way that the way they fight and how Batman fights, it shows you how intelligent he really is. Then you have, of course, the little cameos that they were talking about. And, as far as how the characters are going to be introduced, such as Aquaman, Cyborg, and the Flash. Now, again, this is not a spoiler. This is something that they release on their own, that they're going to have cameos. I was kind of disappointed, but I'm going to get into the details as to why on a spoilers review and not on this one. So, but yeah, they do have their cameo on in there, and great. So then, of course, you know, you have the end is probably going to take you for a loop. It will take you for a loop. But overall, I don't understand what these critics were talking about. And I kind of did a lot of searching on it, and I found some little nitpicky stuff. And I don't want to reveal that stuff because, again, it's so much spoilers. So what I will go into the detail of that stuff and dissect it better on my spoiler review. So I'm going to keep this one, like I said, just kind of flat. Well, non-spoiler. But I will say the movie's great. That the little things that the things that people are harping about, the bad reviews that you hear out there, they're really only based on little nitpicks, and they let it blow up, and I can understand why. And a lot of it is because when we're saturated right now with a lot of the Marvel movies and how their tone is, this is completely different tone. This is not the same stuff. You know, I mean, this is going to be really intense, really grounded, very gritty, dark, and I'm okay with that. But you know what? It is laying the ground floor for the Justice League. So, that being said, it doesn't mean that it's a bad movie. It's still a good movie. But I think that the best example that I can give you is how Age of Ultron feels choppy. That's probably the way it's going to feel. Just because there's so much to take in. And so much stuff that they're trying to set up for the future. But this movie is still a good movie. You know, out of 10, I'm gonna give it an 8, maybe an 8.5, because it's still a good movie. The action's great, the visuals are awesome, you know, and the storytelling, there's a few little holes in it. Not really that much to concern yourself with. Definitely go watch the movie. Tell me your opinion. I want to know what you guys think. But in the meantime, look, don't listen to the naysayers. Do not listen to these critics. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Okay? Now, yeah, sure, they've been doing it for a long time. They've been doing all these reviews and stuff. But honestly, it's little nitpicky shit. Every person that I've spoken to, that are my friends, that have gone to go see this movie already, have said, I don't know what everyone's talking shit about. And, you know, and keep in mind, one of the things that Zack Snyder actually put out, where he responded to the critics' response to it, his answer was, you know what, I'm making this film for the fans, not for the critics. So I don't care what they think. It's how the fans respond. So, you know, that being said, go watch it yourself. Base your own opinion. Everything is subjective. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So I'm telling you that right now. Now, if you guys want to see a more in-depth one, check out the spoilers if you've already seen the movie. If not, hey, just as long as you've just seen this before, and then you're going to go watch the movie, then you can come back and watch our spoilers review. Okay, in the meantime, hey guys, thank you for watching this show. Thank you for watching this episode. Thank you for your support. We are trying to hit 100 subscribers so that we can get our URL. And look, so share, subscribe, discuss, and don't forget to spread the word, okay? If you like this video, click on the thumbs up. Share with your friends. Let them know what's going on. Let them know who we are. Let them know we exist. Other than that, catch you on the flip side. Bye.